Hello, and today we'll be talking about output gaps through Chapter 11, Aggregate Expenditure. Now, the formal definition of output gaps, as you can see on your screen, is that economies can get stuck at the output level below full employment output if Keynesian equilibrium is below full employment level of output. Now, there are two different kinds of output gaps. There is a recessionary output gap, and there is an inflationary output gap. We're going to start with the recessionary, though. So a recessionary output gap occurs when equilibrium aggregate expenditure is below the level needed for full employment. And now what that means is something I can simply show you on the graph here. So I get my little pencil tool. So recessionary output gap, let's find our regular PAE, which you learned about earlier in the Canva. And let's find our PAE when we are at full employment, or FE. Now you see our regular output, our equilibrium output at Keynesian equilibrium is right here. That's Y1. Looks like an X, it's a Y, bear with me. Now for our full employment output, we can see that's much greater. Much greater than our regular output. That's YFE. Now this little gap right here, that is our recessionary output. Now, yeah, that's a recessionary output gap. I'm just going to call it RO for recessionary output. And so, yeah, that's simply how to find the recessionary output gap. Now, on the other hand, we have the inflationary output gap, which is right here. So as you can see on your screen, an inflationary output gap occurs when equilibrium aggregate expenditure is above the level needed for full employment. Now, as you may have guessed, that is just the opposite of a recessionary output gap, but I will still show you right here. So let's say we have our regular PAE. This is our Keynesian equilibrium all the way on the right here. That's Y1. And then we have our PAE-FE, which is our PAE at full employment, as we just said. And that gives us an output all the way over here, right? And so this gap right here is our inflationary output, or our I. And I see output gaps are really not that difficult to understand. It's just making sure you know uh, whether or not the full employment output is greater or lesser than the regular output, or the equilibrium output rather. And it's a simple thing to remember.